Welcome back to the Funny Farm. We have an exciting one today. We're going to work on the H, get it tuned up just right, hopefully. And we're going to work on the 656, see if we can finally figure out the fuel issue that's been plaguing us. Hopefully we can get both these sorted out. Two things that we really need to be able to move around when we want to. So follow along with us. Hope you enjoy. All right, the H is back to running really good. And I'm so excited to hear this thing moving. Let's go ahead and look at this bowl. Clear. A little bit of a drip. We'll take care of that drip. But it's pretty clear. I mean, that looks really good. Other than the small leak we have. So, as you see, I didn't move this 656 over far enough. So I can't get this out until I get the 656 moving. So we have, but I'm glad this is running really well right now. That's awesome. If we look at the 656, it still has its vinegar bath in here, and she's full. But it's been in there for about 5 days. And about 14 gallons in here. So I'm really excited to flush this bad boy out before the end of Memorial Day weekend. All right, so that is just one more piece to the puzzle. Getting the H straight now. Taking it slow. I just want to get them running correctly. The fuel system was the biggest issue on both. 56, I'm hoping to drain that tank either today or tomorrow. Flush that baby out for the last time. Get this joker up and running. It's so clogged. And for reference, everyone, this is what's coming out of the 656 fuel system. I mean, look at this. All right, after about 5-6+ days of solid vinegar, 15 gallons of vinegar, our actually drain's gonna overflow. It's gonna be a mess. We have stone, it's okay. Just vinegar. This is also disgusting. Oh, look at all that crumbs. Oh. All right. Ryder, you better back up, girl. It's gonna be hard to get these buckets off. It's gonna be kind of a mess. Sorry. Oh, we're in my clothes. Flush this out with some water, and then I'll put fuel in it, and then I'll flush it out with some fuel, sadly, too. That's what I've worked really well for the H over here, so I'm going to do it again with this. That's the easiest, cost-effective way to do it, I think. So this is the first 2 gallons of water I'm flushing out the bottom of this tank. And look at how bad that is. After that 15 gallons of vinegar comes out, this is the first 2-gallon flush. Wow, is that bad? I honestly thought this would be clean, or at least pretty clean after that vinegar. It looks like the vinegar broke off a lot of rust deposits and bad gas, ethanol deposits in there. But now it's just kind of laying everywhere, and I'm just reflushing and flushing and flushing. So I'm doing garden bucket. I don't have a hose that reaches this far, so a gallon in, flush it. The lot comes out at first, the lot comes out at the end. Do it again so I can get 4 good deposit chunks out of here. It's crazy. This is number 15, so I filled this thing up 15 times. That's what I'm dealing with. This is number 15. And look at all that debris in there. Now, oh my. Oh, that probably. What? Let's go over the main drag. Oh. Okay, here's number 30. I'm not really sure what to do at this point. There's just so much debris in this. I could dismantle this, which I really try. I really don't want to dismantle this. I'll be honest with you. I just don't want to. I spent too much time on this already. I'd like this to just be over, and I think flushing will just eventually get rid of this, but there's so much soot. Our first cut is almost done this year up here. I think that's the last line they have. Okay, this is flush number 40. All right, let it drain as much as I can. This is that final result. So that's what it looks like, but I might go to 50. We'll see. I have to admit, this was really, really bad. This carb off the 656 was just full of bright orange gunk. I mean, it was bad. Probably the worst, just as bad as when I first found it sitting after 8 years. So I'm happy I took this apart. Just cleaned it out. Didn't replace anything. Just cleaned it out. I'm gonna put it back together, and I think it's gonna run just fine now. But yeah, I didn't really show any video of this. I wasn't sure if it was gonna even look bad. Once I opened it up, I was like, oh, and I just really wanted to clean it. So yeah, just really took the carb apart, split it, cleaned out both sides, used 2 cans of carb cleaner, and yeah, just putting it back together. So it was already cleaned out pretty thoroughly, but all that rust and junk and just having no filter on this, which I'm gonna add. I will add a filter. I'm gonna get there. Just went to town on this thing, rusted it all up. Oh. All right, we were ready to get this thing out of here. This tank still isn't as clean. I'm gonna take this back off and show you filling this up and running it. But that's what it looks like. So I'm gonna have to take this tank off. We're gonna take this off in this video, take it all apart. I think we're gonna give it an acid bath. Okay, I'm gonna let this drain just for a little bit to get some of the junk out of there, and then slowly fill the bowl up. See that? Gunk. We'll eventually get clean, or a little bit cleaner, I should say. Mess with the flow a little bit. This will give us the best amount of running time. I'm just gonna move this up on the driveway. We're gonna let that carb fill up, see if we can get this thing started. Hey, Rye. TV timeout. Okay, we were just out of juice. I used the same battery for the H656 and the low boy. The low boy just cut grass with. I probably did 3 acres with it, and it doesn't have an alternator. They're really expensive, so I know the tested alternator is bad on it, so it drains the battery. Whoops. So battery's good, should be good now. Okay, let's see if this thing will start. Mike. try this. All right, here she is running. If you just let it idle, it will slowly build up. But it can run like this for 10 or 15 minutes. Slide my door. We have Ryder watching us. Good guard dog. Yeah, here she is. Take this off. Not let this run anymore. See, it only fit up that much. Well, Ryder and I are off school after today, so I'm thinking that we can dismantle and get all the tin off to get to the tank. See what it takes to get the tank off. I think I'm gonna do an acid bath on this tank. I think it's gonna be the best bang for the buck. Do an acid wash, maybe a kerosene or diesel clean out. I can have the tank off, maybe put some bolts in it, drive it around, put on. Choke the whole way out. So I adjusted the carburetor linkage to the governor. I forget exactly what this is called, but I'm going to adjust this so you can hear the difference in the tone and pitch as I take the choke in and out. As the choke out, this is what I was running on. Choke's all the way in now. See how it's smoother? The PTO is spinning with the clutch out. I don't know if this is going down the whole way. Bad seal, the fork. I'm not sure, but I gotta figure that out. I figured I'd try to hook this thing up for the first time since it's actually running pretty good. So Ryder and I have it out here. I'm not hooking the PTO. I might hook it up and just let it sit, but just to pull it, see what it feels like, maybe even pull it into the field. So this is the first time really working with any of this, lining any of this up. Pretty straightforward. It's been pretty nice. Awesome. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
gonna drag this around and get used to it. All right, let's, we got a bolt there. Oh, look how far this thing goes. Okay, there's a bolt in there. I think it's bolted along the side rail. Got to take these out on both sides. Oh my goodness. All right, now we can see this a little bit better. So that fuel tank's a lot longer at the top than I thought. A lot longer. Gonna look over the brackets of this thing to see how we can loosen up the brackets, at least for the tank itself. Heck, with this thing stripped down, I might as well just paint it while I'm at it too. All right, I'm gonna disassemble the bowl, and then these bolts on both sides. I'll take out this bracket that swings around to both sides. I'll take out anything on the front that I see. And then I'll look to see if there's anything, what's left. I know there's gonna be some stuff in here by the engine, transmission starter. There's gonna be something in there. Just winging it. All right, well, thank you, IH, for everything being a 1/2 inch though. That helps. All right, looks like the 4 main bolts for the top of the tank are all 9/16. Come on, you. Okay, all 4 top bolts are out. I have to think about this, look around, and see what my next step's gonna be. Just gonna let the fuel run out onto a bucket I have below here. We'll get that drained out, and I'm gonna try to see what else I need to get this to lift out of here. So it looks like everything actually, those bolts all worked. I don't know if I'll be able to actually lift it out of there. Might be a couple things that are keeping us, this front bracket might keep it from pushing out. I'm gonna see, but I just know, but using this little crowbar, it's loose in there now. So it's just sitting on this rail that goes the whole way around it. So hopefully it can just push right out of there. There are some hydraulic lines on the other side that I might need to kind of maneuver around. They seem kind of pliable. So hopefully we can get this thing out of here and off this thing. All right, that's what the inside of this thing looks like with the tank off. Woo! A lot of junk after, you know, the 50 plus years. Is that a walnut? That is a walnut. Huh. Yeah, walnut tree, look at that. All right. Wire doesn't look as bad now, but I'll have to redo all these wires at some point, get all that finished up. All right, here's the tank. I can't really tell. I feel like it's just this section. I thought this might be baffles, but I don't even see a way for the fuel to get back there. Anyway, just thinking about it. All right, let's go get some acid. I have a ton of success using Simple Green cleaning engine bays. So I'm gonna clean this thing out the best I can for now. I fully intend to paint this tractor once I get some mechanical things out of the way. So yeah, let me spray this thing down, get her cleaned up before I put this tank back in it. Okay, now that's a little bit better for us. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I have 2 gallons of muriatic acid. I'm gonna pour in a ½ gallon at a time. I also have some bolts I'm gonna toss in here as well. I'm gonna swirl that around. I don't wanna leave it in there too long. I did buy some diesel also to flush this out. I'll do a couple flushes. I might even probably just drive around with that. You can put a plug at the bottom. Honestly, I didn't put a plug at the bottom. I just left this in here. I don't know if that's gonna come back to hurt me or not. I probably don't even have a plug that large. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm hoping that this gets us cleaner than what we've been at. It's still pretty bad in here. I don't think I can get a good accurate picture, but even just looking at that top. Can I get in here? Not really. But you've seen pictures throughout this. It's still just like, it's way better, but it's still just crusty in there. The sidewalls are better, but a lot of flakes. All right, so I couldn't get a lot of this on tape. It was pouring down rain last night. I decided to give this tank another cleaning on the inside with muriatic acid. I did it at night so that I could see inside the tank with a flashlight. Just with the light during the day, I was having a hard time seeing how much I was actually cleaning. So I'm gonna give this a good wipe down before I put it all back together, obviously. But the inside of that tank was crystal clear. And again, it was pouring down rain, so I just sat it on here. I don't have any of these bolts in. But what I did was muriatic acid and some bolts, sloshed it around for like 5 or 6 minutes, dumped it, and then gave it 2 or 3 1-gallon diesel baths inside, sloshed it around. And then I waited like 5 or 6 hours to the evening and did that routine again. And it, I mean, very clear. I wasn't sure what I'd see from that, but very, very clear. almost nothing left in that tank. So I decided to drain it and pick it up, put it back on here, just set it on these rails. I didn't put any bolts down again. And I filled it with 15 gallons of gasoline. So I put 15 gallons in here, almost to the top, not quite. So I'm hoping that help retain some of that coating from the diesel in there. I tried to find a tank liner. No one had a tank liner, so I didn't use a tank liner. Just used that coated diesel. But this thing looks great. It looks brand new inside there. So I'm hoping there's probably some stuff in there a little bit when I first hit the switch in there for the fuel. And it's gonna drain. I'm gonna let a little bit drain out to see if I can get any gunk out of there that's still in there. But it should be good to go now to put back together. All right, so when I twisted this to release some of the debris possibly at the bottom of this, looks like this is broken from when we were working on it, and it doesn't shut off. It'll twist the whole way shut, but it doesn't close. The mechanism doesn't close in here. So I put a bolt in there. It's still leaking. It's probably almost drained out of 15 gallons overnight, sadly. But I did pick up a new one. And I feel like this is the same as an A or a Cub. Let's see how much is not in here anymore. There's some in here. Okay. We'll sit in here so it doesn't drain out. But I don't want this fuel tank to become all rusted over because there's no fuel in it from flash rusting or anything like that. So I'm gonna lost cause with this. I'm gonna go ahead and install this one. So I'm gonna take this out with fuel in it. It's gonna be pouring out. I'm gonna try to install this one. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna put this one back in it and probably fill the tank back up, and just kind of figure it out from there. Order something else. So that's where I'm at, guys. This is a sediment bowl assembly. This one has a little bit of a, I like this little addition here to help with debris. Let's see if this even, all right, I'm gonna take this off, try to put this one back on. Now, no guarantee that this one actually fits in here. So it's gonna be a game time decision. I'm hoping this doesn't stick out enough to where it hits. It might. That's gonna be close. Well, game time decision. Okay. Looks like this bolt did its job, at least partially. There we go. I knew we'd have something around here. That looks good. It's probably not a good idea. Holy, that was a lot of fuel. I have to get this in the right spot. It's backwards. Oh no. Well, it's not leaking right there. It's also like not really in right. I mean, it's in. Hold on. Ah! Oh, this is a dirty job. Okay, come on. Maybe that's any better? It's like the same spot. Alright, I'm just gonna call this good right there. That's not really good, but at least it's stopping. Oh my goodness. Should have had the mega gloves on for this. Whoo! Okay. Is that good enough? I mean, it's really not good enough. I mean, it's gonna hold, but like I don't want it. I want it to be tight. I had to do this on the last one a few times too, and I had it filled up. 100. Oh, look, it says 656 on it. No, didn't even see it on it labeled on it. Hopefully that does clear for you. I need about fuel. Looks good though. I'll tell you that much. That looks really good. All right.
What do you think, Lena? What are you looking for?
What are you looking at? Okay, let's check for leaks. Let's see how good my apprentice pressure wrench did. Let's check for leaks. Come on. You'll be the first to see. You see a leak, you tell me. I don't know if this has been open in decades. So before I try to start this thing, I want to take off this air cleaner. I've never taken it off. So let's see what's behind door number 1. Woo! Supposed to be that color? All right, okay. Doesn't look good, but doesn't look bad. Hey, not terrible. Not terrible. Okay, clean that out pretty good. Here's the part number. I'm gonna order another one of those. This is a Wix filter. There we go. I'm gonna order another one of those. Okay, let's see if this thing runs. No tins on it. I want to clean all this off. I just want to see if it runs. Clean the air filter, obviously everything in the fuel tank. No choke. Key on. Fuel tank gauge doesn't work anymore. Whoops. Hey, all right. Gonna let this thing run for a while. Hopefully it stays running. Sounds good. I want to get new spark plugs for it. Order that filter, that air filter. Do a fluids flush. Trans, engine oil, coolant. I already did a flush. Not on purpose. It was really low. It was 2.5 gallons low. So I'll probably flush the coolant at the end of the season in the fall. But the rest I'll flush that. I feel like it runs honestly really well. I had to do some carburetor adjustment on that, just because it hasn't really ran over 30 seconds. But I want to do a full fluids flush on this thing, like I said. I think I'm actually gonna probably drop this tank again. You can see there's no tin on it. It still hasn't fully corrected this. I think it flashed rust and that rust. I'm not sure how it was gonna respond. That rust kind of like dissolves back into the gas, making it cloudy. So I'm probably gonna have to pull this tank again and probably do a fuel tank liner on it. If you've watched this far, thanks. Please like, subscribe. If you have any recommendations for a tank liner, I know there's Gold Stand. I know Advanced Auto sells a kit. Port 15 has a kit through them. And I'm pretty sure through Napa or O'Reilly, you can get a red coat. I'm probably gonna end up doing red coat. I've heard some good things. So probably do that in the next video. Just pull it off, put that, include that somewhere in the video. H is running really good. I'm confident that if I can get the PTO to turn on and off when it's needed to, that would be field ready. I could put that in the field and we could go. We can cut with that. I have no problem. This thing, I still feel like it's gonna die on me. If it gets too bad on here, if it doesn't look that bad. I think this thing's given a pretty big fight. It doesn't really want to come back to life, but I'm pulling it. Thanks for watching, and watch out for the next video.